And we're rolling.
Welcome to episode 68.3 of Rebels Without a Pod, the podcast that dares ask the question, why hasn't anyone ever had the idea of getting middle-aged nerds together to talk about The Simpsons?
Nerds, you say?
Nerds.
Freaking nerds.
I don't know about these backdoor shenanigans.
I'm Andy.
Coming on to us?
Yes. And with me tonight is our sound guy, Naveen.
Hello.
Pod Daddy, Eric.
Nice to see you.
I don't say blah, blah, blah.
And our usual moderator, Pod Mommy, Johnny.
I am tired and sore.
Yep, that's right.
Diddy party.
Is that from Backdoor Shenanigans?
That's right. All the baby oil.
Yeah.
On this mini episode of Rebels Without a Pod, we're diving into season 4, episode 8 of The Simpsons, called New Kid on the Block. It's the one where Bart gets his first real crush on the new neighbor that lives next door, Laura Powers, who's voiced by Sarah Gilbert of, at the time, Roseanne, and then she was on, I don't know, one of those talk shows and other stuff too.
The View.
And
A good
Homer,
insight.
right, and Homer
View.
goes. Homer goes to
Andy,
war.
this is what every week is like for me.
I know. Trust me, I know.
It's up and up
Wait,
eventually.
I'm going to do my Roseanne impression, by the way. Darlene!
That's good. Are you going to sing the national anthem for us too? Be real topical.
Yeah, why not?
All right.
I'll play
We'll
a
go
little
out with
thing
that.
for you.
We'll go out with that. It's also the one where Homer goes to war with the all-you-can-eat seafood buffet.
Yes.
The introduction of the sea captain.
And yes, yeah, that's right. That's right. So fun fact, this was actually the very first Simpsons script that Conan O'Brien ever wrote back in 1992, back well before he became a late night host, post SNL, but pre late night, I think. Or was it the other way around when it was SNL? Sorry, it was Simpsons, SNL. I don't remember. But anyway.
SNL, Simpsons pretty briefly, and then late night after that.
Yeah, that's right. So that's right. Okay, so as a little icebreaker, I guess I want to throw it to you guys and ask, before we start talking about Bart and Laura, did you guys have any one-sided crushes on anyone when you were growing up? I certainly did, but did you guys?
Every crush I had.
Yeah,
Every
yeah.
question, this is.
It was almost a rhetorical
There's a reason we're all podcasting in our 40s, dude.
That's a good point.
Let me ask you something. So, Charlie, right?
Yep.
Did you, when he was
Two
younger,
questions, actually.
yeah, you're like, don't bring it back to Charlie. But did you ever deal with that where you're like, you could tell he had a crush on a girl, like a neighbor or like a family friend or something?
I would say, I mean, the short answer is yes. But he was always very, I guess, tight-lipped about all of that. He kept and still does keep that stuff very much to himself.
Right.
I heard that's like a big thing nowadays, and I don't know if it's because most kids are hiding behind screens or whatever it is, but it just seems like, because even for my kids too, it's like you can tell sometimes when they find a girl's cute, but you can't bring it up. And it just
is it just verboten for kind of kids your age to like talk about any of this?
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. I never once heard Caleb talk about a girl. Never. But he said to me before, like, oh yeah, no, I like girls. And like his friends tried to set him up and stuff like that. But I've never had just like, he's 15. I've never had a talk with him about girls. He's never like brought anything up to me. It's never been like there's somebody always around that it's obvious. It's just like a thing that just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
I mean,
Mostly
it was awkward for people our age. I cannot imagine sort of 30 years of just like the way society and technology and everything else has kind of changed more. I cannot imagine that getting easier or more relaxed.
It's weird, dude. Like, did your fathers ever say to you, like, hey, have that talk with you?
The birds and the bees.
Not the birds and the bees necessarily, but like, hey, is there a girl that is cute in your class? Or like,
Nope.
I get called a pedo if I ask these questions. So
yeah, not directly like that. Once in a while, my father would kind of like allude to that, but no, it was never a direct question ever.
Yeah. Nope.
yeah,
Right.
My father.
My father went to the
doesn't
same
work.
high school that I did, and
Right.
he would occasionally remark on women that he went to high school with and how cute they were, and then ask about, oh yeah, she's got a daughter your age. What do you? Yeah. And that never went anywhere. That was
That's the start of a very awkward conversation.
right.
Yeah.
You're like gross.
So, sorry, go ahead, Johnny. More?
I was going to say, it's kind of like to this point. Two things. First, this episode is basically the plot of Jojo Rabbit, is what I realized about halfway through. But
Yeah.
second, it's a really interesting thing to me. Out of the 3 episodes that we watched, this for me was actually the most fun because I only had about 80% of it in my head as opposed to like the full 100%.
Mhm.
But what really kind of struck me is this is an episode about Bart trying to kind of get clarity on his emotions, trying to kind of understand what it means to kind of be romantically like attracted to like a girl. And the whole episode, literally from the first line, is basically kind of written from the perspective of a 10-year-old trying to talk about sex, trying to talk about romance, but having no idea what any of those things actually mean. And I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of the first time that they delved into Bart's emotional side. He wasn't just a trickster, jokester, smart ass kid. He actually had some like legitimate feelings in this one, which let's put a pin in that because I do talk about that. I want to bring that up a little bit later. Okay, so I guess a quick refresher just for those that didn't watch the episode. So Bart instantly falls in love with this new girl, Laura, that lives next door, and later finds out that she's dating one of his worst bullies, Jimbo Jones. As we mentioned before, Homer, the kind of the B plot of the story is Homer is suing the Frying Dutchman, the seafood restaurant, because they advertised an all-you-can-eat buffet, and he tries his damnedest to eat all he can before they basically throw him out and say, it's time for him to go. You've got Bart with his, sort of this emotional vulnerability that we had talked about, paired with, Homer's sort of like ridiculous, cartoonish, literally gluttony.
Homer, no less than 3 times, conflates food with sex in this episode.
Yes, exactly. So, all right. If when you first saw this episode or rewatching it now, which of those 2 storylines sort of stuck with you more? Bart with his heartbreak or Homer with his chowdown? Which, like, and maybe if you can remember watching it when you were younger versus now, like when you were younger, was the Homer part of it funnier and more memorable to you? And does the Bart thing now resonate more, or, vice versa? Do you guys recall?
Oh, yeah. I mean, this again, we were how old? I mean, that was 93.
This is 92, 93.
92,
so.
93. So, I mean, I was 12 at the time.
Mhm.
So, I mean, again, I do remember, I've probably seen this episode maybe once or twice in my life. And I remember they said guest starring, the voice of Darlene from Roseanne, Sarah Gilbert. So I did remember that she was going to be voicing one of the characters. But then also watching the episode too, I was that whole like thing where it's like, new girl moves in next door and she's cute and she's kind of older. And it's like, she's babysitting you now. I mean, I was
Gestapo's
always
looking for her, and you're just trying to
Yeah.
keep everybody safe.
Yeah, there was actually There's actually the street I lived on growing up. There's a lot of older girls that lived there. There were, I think, maybe when I was in elementary school, they were high school kind of thing, and so it'd always be different girls babysitting me, and it's that same kind of thing where I'm like, you know, if you have some kind of connection with them, you're so immature and young, and you don't know what love is really, but you're kind of like, is there something there? Like, you know, she's kind of cute, and I mean, like, and she thinks I'm funny, and all those things you probably still think now. Maybe
It activates neurons that weren't getting kind of stimulated like sort of prior to that.
Because girls your age are not really giving you attention when you're that young, but the older girls kind of like, you know, he's like a kid brother kind of thing, and that's like the thing that Bart realizes. But I remember that so clearly, this episode and what happened. And so that's why I was just like, the whole thing with Homer, it's funny, and I actually remember that too, but just not as much as Bart's, like, I guess, first crush, I guess.
Yeah, I would agree with that. That the whole crush thing stuck with me more than Homer's, quest for all you can eat.
I mean, who ate shrimp at that time anyways? Did you eat shrimp at 12?
Oh, I love shrimp at 12.
Oh,
yes.
did you? Oh, okay. I didn't eat any seafood. That's why I was like, ugh.
Naveen said that with so much confidence. You can't even see like the video, but he
was fucking at 14.
Right. Yeah.
I could hear it right there.
He should have had a bathrobe on, taking a hit off a bubble pipe.
I mean, my sweatshirt's chafing me.
You already have your pants off, so you might as well take it off.
Well, good thing you can't see that, but yes.
All right.
Yes, I do.
Is Naveen Donald ducking?
It's a big dick energy.
Usually. I guess
Andy, kind of let me say on my side of this kind of super quick. I always found my grandmother loved watching Roseanne. It had been on like TV for about kind of 5 seasons at this point. I always found it weird and off-putting. It was just a show that I never liked watching, that I always kind of like, if I went over to visit her, she had Roseanne on, I would just kind of turn around and leave, because it was just something about it I just didn't like. I thought was unpleasant. So opposite of kind of what Eric and Naveen are saying right now, like I remember thinking the seafood stuff in this episode, it was so hysterical, but not liking the Laura story for kind of 2 reasons. Like I knew that she was on Roseanne, and I was kind of put off by that, and I was also just kind of put off by the fact, like, dude, you're 10 years old, she's 16. What are you doing? What do you think you're going to accomplish? I kind of got embarrassed on Bart's behalf. I remember kind of watching this episode, and that's why this is why out of this particular season, it's one of my actual like least watched. Now watching this thing, you're like, Sarah Gilbert, and just tell me if I'm wrong about this, gives a phenomenal voice acting performance on like this.
Yeah.
Thing. Just so she'd only kind of done the show. She kind of comes in and she's like a natural, like in every single part. And I just kind of just watching this thing with like adult eyes, I thought it was really, really kind of just interesting and human and compelling to kind of watch this thing. Like a through line of The Simpsons, kind of going back to like the first season, was Bart is horrible and torturous and shitty to babysitters, and his kind of crush on Laura goes to such an extent, it's so powerful that she comes over to babysit and nothing actually happens at all. Like that was, if you look at the chronology of the show, that was huge at the time.
Yeah.
Yep. Agreed.
So now, who wants to change their answer on who the thing is out of all of us? Johnny's favorite part when he was a kid was this shrimp scene.
Well, I didn't like shrimp like you did back in the day.
All right, so I'm still the thing.
No, we drove around looking for an all-you-can-eat seafood buffet, and what'd you do after that? We went fishing.
We didn't find anything, so we went fishing.
Okay, so I guess at this point, I want to zoom in a little bit further on sort of Bart's side of the story. One of the things that makes Bart's crush his A story and this so relatable is that that there's that age gap between him and Laura that's close enough that he has this thought where maybe something could happen. Kind of,
he's like, I've kind of got a shot.
Yeah, maybe there's a shot here, but it's also big enough that the reality is that it's there's no way. If you think about it in terms of when you're an adult, a few years between adults is nothing, but during when you're a child, it's this insurmountable, it's this massive chasm between two people. So
would you date anybody 6 years older now?
Maybe. I don't know. I guess
you hesitated way too long.
Yeah.
I don't think that's
He
the
also
game.
said maybe, and he's married.
Yeah, he's like,
It's like, no, I'm married. It should be no.
Well, of course not right now. I don't know. I had to think about it. I mean, that's stretching it for sure, especially at 45.
Right.
yeah.
That's stretching it a little bit for me, but I don't know. I mean, I
kind of
guess
back then, if you look at percentages, yeah, that is a hell of a thing.
yeah.
I think we phrased this wrong. We should have asked, at your age, would you make bacon on the beach with a woman 6 years older than you?
Okay. I turned this thing on, and it just that's a scene I've seen 1,000 times, but revisiting that as an adult, like those tiny details of Homer is in a Speedo, he's wearing a chef's hat, and as he's turning the bacon around, he's got the little pinky extended.
Yeah.
And he's so he thinks
Bacon.
he like making bacon on the beach. The first of the three insane Homer conflating sex with food scenes in the episode, but he is so delighted by the idea, just kind of fancy cast iron kind of sort of beachside bacon cooking. Like I just, God, that made me laugh.
Yeah.
Immediately into the episode.
So I'm going to throw all of you guys right out there. I'm going to ask you an awkward question, and I'm going to see who has the guts to answer it.
Can you just move your hand as you speak?
My wife. I love my wife.
Yeah.
I can't answer
I only
that.
say that because we can't see your face, so might as well. We can only see your hand.
I see. So who was your first crush? And did it feel just as impossible? Bonus points if you actually name names, minus the last name. We don't want to dox anybody here. Does anybody have the balls to do it?
I just love how even Coco sort of looked up and kind of glared at you for a minute as you were asking that question.
What is it, Coco?
All right.
Is that a cat?
No, Coco's a dog.
Oh, sorry. There we go. That's right. You have a dog.
I'll answer the question.
Don't say it. Don't say it. Are you gonna say my wife?
No.
Okay.
I married her.
I will answer the question. In fact, there's probably a couple that I could say. I'm gonna go with, let's see, my very first one was in Rochester, New York, and I was in second grade, and her name was Jessie. And then when I moved to Scituate, it was Tara. And
is that exactly how it was pronounced in Scituate?
Yeah, it was.
He's Russian. It's fine.
It was Jessie to Tara to Kristen to Jen to Julie.
Did they have a little bit of something?
A little bit of Monica in their life.
Right.
Yep. And one of those people that I'm aware of, anyway, is no longer with us.
Oh,
wow.
Hear that.
Wow.
Yeah.
But if she was, I'm sure she'd probably have a crush on you.
I think of all those people that I mentioned, she was the only one that ever knew.
Oh.
Because I had some real asshole friends that decided it would be funny to basically tell her. And it made it super awkward between the two of us, at least from my perspective, for the remainder of the time that I knew her.
Wow.
So does anybody else have a story?
I'll go.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a few girls, and actually all of them were on my bus. We all took the same bus every day, so I just saw them all the time, and I'm like, these ones. And the creepiest part is I remember every day I sit there on the bus and I'd be watching them. And then as the bus would pull up to like their house, I'd watch them like get out and start walking like, up their driveway. I'm like, okay, so that's where she lives. Okay. All right. Now let's go to the next one. And I remember there's one that had like
publish
really
any
long,
of these mini episodes that we're doing.
yeah,
All of this is
one that
nightmare.
she had like a 1/4-mile long driveway.
Yeah,
I was like,
that's a weird New
and
England.
I
Oh yeah,
could just
it's just like they
hide in
gotta
the
hike
woods
12 clicks into the woods. To
I
get
could
back.
just camp out on the side of like in the woods and just wait for her to cross and then jump out and just be like,
This
Hey.
took a turn.
hey, I got a crush on you.
Hmm.
So
Camp out in your yard and
yeah,
up in the deer hunting tree. I was like, I see her.
Do you remember those dried leaf
Here.
bags that were big in the early '90s? That when you filled them up, it looked like a big like jack-o'-lantern, like a big orange pumpkin. And
I
you
always
could
wear
just
a
pop
mask.
out of those things. Ah!
you wear a mask because you don't want to spoil the surprise. So you just pull the mask like, "Ah." And then when she just starts running, you just take it off and be like, haha, it was me.
Uh-huh.
She's like, fuck, what the fuck?
Okay.
I liked a girl named Jessica. I liked a girl named Allison. I do remember Jessica was the one that I kept going back to. And the thing is I did this thing called Nature's Classroom in middle school.
Oh, sure.
And so I don't know if you guys are aware what Nature's Classroom is. It's kind of like sleepaway camp, but you do it with like your entire grade. And so my entire grade, I think this is 7th grade, we did it. My whole class, we all went. And then there was 2 other schools that were doing it at the same time. And we all got to meet all the kids from all these other schools that were like, within like maybe like a 20, 30-mile radius of our school. So it's really cool because we met all these people and my friends met all these new girls and stuff like that. And they would bunk you in these rooms. It was all bunk beds. And I remember the room I was in, it was all kids from my class. And I was like, oh, cool. It's all these guys I know. But one of the guys was actually dating Jessica. And God, I feel like fucking Morty from Rick and Morty. Jessica! And I remember his name was Brian. And he was like, one of these times we would just hang out because we're all like kind of nervous and it's kind of weird. And we're, in this bunk together. And one of the topics came up was girls. Like, oh, you have a girlfriend? Oh, and we all knew Brian, had a girlfriend because he was dating Jessica. So I remember somebody said like, oh man, Jessica. Yeah. So like, have you like kissed her yet? And he's just like, oh, I've done better. I felt her up. And I remember that feeling in my stomach where I'm like, oh my God, that was the girl like I was going to end up with. And the guy, touched her boobs before I did. Like, what the fuck? And I remember I was so mad.
But then another guy was like, man, last summer, forget about filling it up. I knew this whore from Scituate named Tara.
Tara.
Yeah, no.
Ooh.
The least whorish probably of all of them, maybe other than Jesse.
That's what she wanted you to.
Maybe.
It's all in your head, buddy.
I'm still connected with Tara on LinkedIn, so let's be careful. That's
Fucking creep.
it's a hotbed.
See, I wanted to end.
You should
because-
message her. He's like, hey, just real question, real talk. Who was the first one to Tara it up? Oh.
I won in the end, though. After Nature's Classroom, I moved on. But 10 years later, Brian, he was working in construction. He got an injury. He got addicted to painkillers.
Okay.
And he passed away.
Yeah.
So he went down like a bitch, and now she's mine. And I'm happily married and have 2 kids.
Big question.
I don't think that was the question. I don't know where,
Good story though. Johnny, Naveen, either of you?
Good story, Hansel.
Naveen can go first.
Cool story.
Yeah. The only one not the only one, but the starting point would be probably 4th grade is what I remember. Her name was Jenna. Then in 6th grade, it was Jess. And then when we got to middle school, it was Megan for a while, and then
Megan with the H or without the H?
Remember this, by the way. This was
Megan without an H, if I remember.
Oh,
correctly.
yeah.
Jesse. Mine was Jessica. You just mentioned 2 J names.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah.
I had Jen and Julie and Jesse.
It's
Yeah.
fate.
That we were meant to do a pod together.
Yeah.
I'm just
No, I
waiting
mean,
here.
that-
John's gonna drop some. Maybe he'll
No,
drop me.
Those
No,
would be the-
I'm passing on the whole conversation. I don't know who Naveen talks to still.
I think you're passing because you just didn't like Roseanne and Sarah Gilbert, and you just were boycotting that for a while.
Fair. Yes.
Dude, you don't trust me? I'm not going to say anything.
Say it.
Eric's the biggest snitch out of the three of you. I can say that categorically. But it just in
anything.
terms of snitching between I don't know who's kind of number 2 or number 3 on the list. I'm passing.
A lot of vagina?
Wow.
Not on any Simpsons, but one of my favorite Simpsons bits is the Springfield Mafia. And they're like, okay, we're trying to figure out who's been snitching on the crew. And it's one of 2 of our guys. It's either Johnny Tight Lips or Jimmy the Snitch. He goes, it was me. I just like snitching.
Nay.
Andy, moving on.
Aw.
Howard.
Shame
Howard.
for shame.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, so Bart doesn't mope throughout, forever. He has his heartbreak moment, but then he copes kind of the only way that Bart knows how, which is with, mischief, humor and mischief. So this is where the prank calls to Moe's Tavern come in. He basically he calls into Moe's Tavern and he says that he's looking for Amanda Hug and Kiss. And
Classic.
I didn't realize that this was the episode that when I picked it, that this was the episode that Amanda Hug and Kiss came from.
Came out. Yeah. I was surprised.
To this day,
Yeah.
anytime I meet somebody with the name Amanda, in my head, I immediately say Hug and Kiss.
The fucking teenage programming that our generation came out from, like The Simpsons, like the reflexive things we all have, just soldered into our skulls at this point.
I've probably seen this episode prior to watching it for this. I'd probably only seen this episode maybe twice, but probably only the one time when it first aired way back in 92 or whatever it was. And for whatever reason, it just cemented itself in my head.
Right.
So, okay. So,
Andy, apologies kind of real quick before we go on. Pitch for the Amanda Hug and Kiss Moe's phone call being like the best of all of those, because I think it has, in and of itself, very, very funny joke, but it also has the best tag, like, of any of those bits of like Amanda Hug and Kiss. Why can't I find Amanda Hug and Kiss? And they're all laughing. And Marty just goes, maybe your standards are too high.
Yeah. So obviously this was not the first prank call that aired on The Simpsons. Of course, there were others, but this is the first one that really stuck into my head. So, okay, I'm going to throw this to you guys now. If you had to make a prank call to Moe right now, what would it be? What name would you use? And if you weren't able to come up with your own, then I guess the alternate to that is, which are your favorite? Do you have a few favorites from the Simpsons series that has stuck out in your head?
I just want to say this episode 2 had Ivana Tinkle, and I've never met an Ivana, but I do remember that one Ivana Tinkle too when I saw this.
That's a good one.
2 platinum standards of these. It was wild to me. They're both in the same episode.
Right.
Anybody else?
Mine was hipsters and kind of millennials are now always going to these dive bars, ironically. So mine would have been Skitty B Toilet.
Skitty? Is there a Skitty B toilet?
And everybody else, all the adult, like the grown-ups, are all confused, but there's 2 20-some guys with like handlebar mustaches in the corner, like kind of just over like the PBRs, just like
Was there a Skitty A toilet?
I
Ah,
get it. It's like a
Where-
skip. So it's a skibbity toilet. It's a
Skibbity
skibbity toilet, Chuck.
Good. I like it.
All right, I got one. Al. I'll be back.
Ah,
I'll be back.
I'll be
the best version of that is if you call him 20 more times over that night and use the same name each time.
Still here.
Still there.
I'm one of the ones I remember from Simpsons was the Seymour Butts.
Yeah.
Mm.
That was
Yeah.
a classic one as well. I did go through a list. I couldn't really think of one. I have ones that I made up, but I don't think they're very good. But I was looking through the list, and there was one there
You gotta
that's
do them now. You
so
gotta do
close.
them.
No, that's all right. But one that was just so close, which was great. But I don't know. It was Cuddle Me.
Do it.
Hey, would you cuddle me?
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
They had to round the edges off on that one.
Right.
The actual one is much funnier than that. But
Yeah.
so all right. So I have a few. My favorite Simpsons one is when he calls in looking for a duty. Ahmed a duty.
All right.
Ah.
Yeah.
Made it beauty.
That one I thought was hilarious. But the ones that I came up with are a Mr. Gabe Itch, a Miss Tess Tickles,
Hmm.
and my favorite one that I came up with is Don Keedick.
There you go. Nice.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember two things from The Simpsons, like the most phone calls and the Itchy and Scratchy cartoons, just being like the single funniest things you'd ever seen, like in your 12 years, like on this planet?
Absolutely.
You're kind of like now, but
Yeah.
these being life changing when they first came on TV.
Really? I never thought they were funny then, but I think for the Itchy and Scratchy cartoons,
Mhm.
not being able to watch violence otherwise, I was just like, oh shit, like there's blood.
Mm. Yeah.
I mean, the episode that I had presented on, yeah, it's like Scratchy's head exploded. And it just showed like his spinal
Mhm.
cord sticking out, just
Right.
blood everywhere.
Right.
They're like,
On top of the fact he's
violent.
eating his own intestines over and over and over. Almost, it's a little bit of a human centipede.
patch of
thing.
its stomach. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, I didn't like that part.
Oh. Well,
Okay, so I'm not going to touch an awful lot on the Homer B story in this one, but did any of you guys have anything that you wanted to kind of just, because I focused on the Bart and Laura thing so much, do you guys have anything about the Homer B story that you wanted to call out? Because it is funny.
I mean, I love the
this is Christ, what was it? This is the most egregious case of flagrant false advertising since my lawsuit against the film The Never-Ending Story.
That's such a good
I
line.
mean, just, like a nice thing about just out of these three, we have just Phil Hartman cooking with every single word, every single line that he has. It's just two of his best.
These episodes, that's all I could think about. I was like, God, fucking Phil Hartman was just
A gem.
I don't, it's just his iconic voice, just the way he just presented himself. I mean, he was at news radio. I never watched news radio, but his roles in The Simpsons, everything he did was just gold.
Mm-hmm.
News radio was actually pretty good. all
Yeah,
things
News Radio.
considered.
Yep.
Even with Joe Rogan.
He was a turd.
Like a lot of real, I feel kind of like SNL completionist historians, like people make the argument. Bill Hader has kind of like become like in conversation for like the best of all time, but sort of prior to him, a lot of people were just like Bill Hartman was like the best sketch actor that really kind of ever performed on that show.
Yeah. I think I'd give it to Hader, but but Hartman is a very, very close. He's very close.
He held the belt for like a really long time.
Oh yeah, for sure. Okay, so I mean, I guess just to wrap this up, I think this episode stands out because, well, one, because it's Conan's first script.
Mhm.
Secondly, it showed us a new side of Bart. It's funny, it's heartfelt, it's relatable. There's enough goofiness in there to even for people who don't resonate with the crush side of it and sort of like the more emotional gooey stuff, there's still enough funny stuff in there for everybody.
There's a porn film called Das Butt.
Yes, there is.
There's a lot of stuff that's like when you're that age, just going over your head.
I thought that was very, very funny at the time. It's funny.
I just now. Like it's funny for me because I was like, but
butts are funny. So last thought for kind of from each of you is what was sort of your bigger takeaway from this episode? That first crushes, sting, and that bittersweet thing is important for kind of growing up, or that humor is sort of the best way to get through life and to survive even the tough stuff.
Since I was not sort of forthcoming about kind of childhood crushes, I will be
not sort of forthcoming. You were not forthcoming at all.
I will be a little more like emotionally vulnerable at this point. I have realized that I have a bit of an issue with my with the woman I am currently in a relationship with, and the women I have been in relationships with throughout like my adult life. I have kind of recently sort of figured out like that I am not always the best at kind of being emotionally sincere, and I am not always the best at being mature, even in situations that kind of call for sort of real like adult maturity. This is a thing I kind of arrived at sort of recently, kind of like independently, kind of watching this, but revisiting this show and realizing and thinking about this is the kind of sense of humor that I grew up on. This is the kind of thing that just when I was a kid, just kind of watching just over and over and over again. When it kind of comes to sort of questions of just about, just because this whole episode sort of like we said, kind of up top, depicts an attitude about emotion, partnership, sex, romance, connection, all the rest of that. We haven't kind of gotten even like the whole thing of like Ruth coming into just coming home and being like, yeah, you can set me up with your friends. I have like the usual appetites. He's like, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Just make sure you're not talking about food, right? He goes, no. Yeah. Talk about sex. And she's like, yeah, just reading you loud and clear. This was the funniest shit ever for me, but this is also a way for me to kind of keep a lot of that stuff at arm's length because I didn't want to figure out, I didn't kind of want to deal with sort of whatever. And just kind of like watching this thing, I still to this day think this is like the funniest shit ever, but it did also kind of hammer into me like a little bit that my response to sort of situations where it is kind of called for me to kind of just be some kind of grown up like about these things that I, as a matter of kind of reflex or defensiveness or habit or whatever the fuck else, I just defer to making jokes. I defer to being silly. I defer to being like just intentionally obtuse or just kind of whatever the fuck else. It kind of hit me that I love this kind of thing so much, but for the sake of people, just not just people I'm in relationships, but just kind of everybody in my life, maybe I should try to veer away from that and be like occasionally a little more honest and sincere. So that for me was like the real big episode takeaway.
So
yeah,
what was her name?
Oh,
come on. I just looked like I was being a mature adult listening to you give something of yourself to us, and now I feel like I kind of
say that. You say that, but 2 records ago, I still remember what your intro sounded like. You're still in the doghouse, mister.
I was like, that guy on the left, that fucking guy right there. You owe me. It'll come in time.
Yeah. New kid on the block. Someone else. Naveen, what'd you think?
To answer Andy's questions I would say it's actually a mix of both. Yeah, it's gonna sting, it's gonna hurt, but then you use that humor and things and trying to look strong as a little coping mechanism, so you can just handle the situation and move on. So you kind of mix a little bit of both. It's like on the inside, it's like, oh, it's hurting.
It's so easy to
right.
overdevelop the muscle just to say something
Right.
silly, just to say something stupid.
And just be like, whatever, just do one of those things, and you try to look like you're moving on, but inside you're like,
yeah.
You're eating your own stomach, like, itchy and scratchy there.
All you're tasting is tripe.
Yeah. So that was my take on the question there, so it's kind of a mixture of both.
Yep. And I think that's the point. Eric, anything to add?
No, I agree. Although I will say in this episode, it worked out a little too well. Bart did the prank call, and in the end, he's like, haha, I thwarted, her happiness. So now she's single and alone. But
literally at no point does Laura
alone
seem
together.
uncomfortable. She's smiling like the entire time. She seems perfectly happy hooking up with Jimbo on the couch of her babysitting gig. It doesn't seem like he's really interrupting anything. Or it doesn't seem like
And
Bart
that's
is
true.
stopping.
Maybe he was just kind of, he's just kind of wanking, and he's just like, all right, let's see if he actually takes his shirt off.
Right.
Well, she even at one point says that, you guys have to be in bed before Jimbo gets here or something like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
So, interesting thing for me, I've never watched this episode with captions on before. And on the original VHS copy that we had of this, when Jimbo kind of pulls up on his motorcycle, I always thought he said, "Hey, Laura, Dr. Tom has arrived." And I was like, that's some cool older kid shit, Dr. Tom. But you actually look at it, you watch the captions, it's Dr. Tongue.
Dr. Tongue,
It fucking sucks, which is absolutely terrible. Like Dr. Tom, that's kind of badass right there.
Dr. Tom.
Hi, I'm Jimbo Jones. Nickname is Dr. Tom.
Dr. Tom. The doctor is in.
Right.
That's badassery all over it.
Andy, can we ask like a question, sort of like a relevant question, not just this episode, but like all three that we've talked about tonight?
Sure.
You said that that you and Hillary watched all three of these together.
Indeed.
What you think?
So she doesn't have the history with The Simpsons that that the four of us do. She wasn't allowed to watch it when she was younger.
Oh shit!
It was too. Her parents were pretty strict with what she was allowed to watch.
This show was really considered a lot when it first came out.
Yeah.
Did you say Mormon?
Yeah, Mormons.
Not Mormon. Stricter than that. But that being said, and in fact, I'm not sure she'd ever seen any of these episodes before.
Whoa!
Interesting.
Yeah. So, but she seemed to enjoy them. She laughed. She got a kick out of a lot of the jokes. She enjoyed herself. I would say largely it was it was good, enjoyable.
Do you think you guys are going to watch more episodes?
Probably not.
Do you
Not
think
so
you're
much.
going to start referring to yourself as Dr. Tom around the house?
I have been ever since this episode. I call myself Dr. Tom, and they all just roll their eyes at me. Nobody gets it.
All right.
You don't call yourself Amanda?
Amanda Huggins.
I'm
Amanda.
You don't look out the window and go, "Zookeeper, Zookeeper." Monkeys are killing each other.
Who puts a barbecue pit in the middle of the road?
All right. Well, on that note,
Oh, that's a well. It was a wishing well. That's right.
very wishing well, yeah.
Wishing well.
It was a wishing well on the road.
On that note, I would say, thanks everybody for tuning in to Rebels Without a Pod. Everybody share your first crush stories with us in the comments.
Right.
And don't forget to like and subscribe. And we'll see you next time. Thanks, everybody.
And also, if this is the first you're listening to of the three, this has been overwhelmingly the best one of the bunch. Andy, great job.
Hey.
Naveen, very good job. Eric, it's a little bit late, but happy birthday.
May God have mercy on your soul.
Yeah.
God have mercy on your soul.
Well,
I'm going to be checking the comments section
Yeah.
constantly to see if John puts a name in there. I don't care what pseudonym you
Uh-huh.
use. Just put something in there, and it has to
You
start
don't
with a
care
J.
what. You don't care what.
Pseudonym.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, you struggled a little bit on that first pass. Okay. We'll see what happens.
Actually,
You'll never
before we
listen to
go,
this again, so
Andy, you had
go keep yourself. This is a Simpsons episode.
Yeah.
before we go.
All right, guys. Oh, wait, go ahead.
Yeah, before we go, Andy, I just want to ask a question quick with you. You actually had a different choice for an episode. What made you definitely choose this one?
So, all right. So I had initially chosen Treehouse of Horrors 5, which is the one where it's like the Shining takeoff, where Homer, all work and no play make
It's
boy.
considered categorically one of the best. Like maybe
Homer goes
the best
something
Treehouse
something.
Horror.
Yeah.
And I love that's still one of my all-time favorite Simpsons episodes. I've always liked the Treehouse of Horrors, and when I made the decision to change direction, the reason I did it was because I was going to go down a Conan rabbit hole with this one, and then with this being his first, and I thought, okay, this is a good way for me to start talking about Conan, and then like the impact of Simpsons writers on future comedy and SNL and all this kind of stuff. And then when I really got down to like writing it all out and like trying to plot out what the show was going to look like, I just didn't have the wherewithal or the brain power or the bandwidth to really do a good job with that idea. Right. And I'd already committed at that point, so I just stuck with it. If I had it to do over, knowing what I know now, I probably would have gone with Treehouse of Horrors 5.
But let me say personally, New Kids on the Block was
a great band.
Yeah, it's a fantastic.
Absolutely.
Step by step.
Hanging tough.
But I think it would be really cool.
Yeah.
I have a Treehouse of Horrors on this one because it's such an iconic thing. So maybe another time we'll do another one of these, and Eric can have some time to prepare for it.
Right now, just
I'll be back.
This is the only way we can kind of get sort of format decisions out to him is by actually like kind of doing recording. So now that he's got his head wrapped around it, I think this is something we should do again. Might be like a lot of fun.
Maybe, yeah.
We'll see. I don't think anybody wants any more of this. So I mean, I think we should just kind of leave it.
I don't think anybody
we should
wants
leave that up to
more
the fans.
Eric.
Sure.
You know what? I was on my way to record this podcast tonight, and I came across like all this stuff in front of my neighbor's house, and I found like these coat hangers, like a box of coat hangers, and all these like expired meds, and I'm like, somebody's gonna take all of these,
right?
And so I just took all the expired meds, and that's kind of where I was at for a bit, and just completely blanked on what we were
looking
doing.
back a little bit. Was it a little fucked up, like that the Homer sort of grabs coat hangers and estrogen?
He's eating expired meds, and I'm like, kids watch this show. Jesus Christ, the 90s were fucking wild.
I'm just amazed they got backdoor shenanigans through like that. That was really, that was something special. Okay, Rebels Without a Pod, episodes 68, A, B, and C.
We've got all different episode names.
No, I think it was.
Yeah, we're very, very.
No, wait. I think it was 68 B.
2/3 is what I said.
Oh, yeah, 68 and 2/3, and then 68.3.
You want me to do decimals on these?
I know. I want you to do exactly what I just said. Eric's was 68, Naveen's was 68 and 2/3, and mine was 68.3. Oh man,
he's thinking.
Johnny looks so pensive right now.
I have a master's.
You
in
shut him up
science.
so quickly. That's
this. This is something I got to bring to the team. I got to potentially
ones and zeros aren't adding up.
This broken math is hurting my head.
That's what's good about it. Math is dumb.
Andy, thank you for just ending this in like the most upsetting way possible for me.
Well, you upset us by not letting us know who your crushes are.
That is true.
Now
that
we're
is
all
true.
even.
Well, it just if we do another old school Simpsons collection, maybe we'll see if we'll see what happens.
I mean, maybe you could make up for it by for the next sorbet. You could wear a 15-pound beard of days.
Maybe you could make up for the next episode reading the fucking group chat for a change.
I'm in.
On that note, work is hostile. I'm gonna call it there.
I got an imposter podcaster syndrome.
Yeah.
I still don't know what I'm doing here.
2 hours and 24 minutes. This is exactly how long it takes him to warm up. The
All right,
actual
guys.
Jimmy Pardo to our Conans. Gentlemen,
Yeah.
take care.
Take care, guys.